Have you ever stood somewhere and felt history breathe? Where silence feels alive and every crack in the wall holds a story too deep for words. Maybe it's the way the wind moves through an ancient city, or how a single step can bridge centuries. Because travel isn't just about seeing the world, it's about feeling it, raw, unfiltered, and unforgettable. But here's the real question. With over 1,000 UNESCO World Heritage Sites out there, how do you find the ones that truly matter? The ones that change how you see the world, and maybe how you see yourself. Today, we're uncovering 20 breathtaking World Heritage Sites you can't afford to miss. Each one a living time capsule where culture, creativity, and nature collide. They say every destination has two sides. The one in the postcards, polished and picture perfect, and the one hidden in backstreets, whispers, and moments no guidebook ever mentions. That's the one I chase. The real, untamed, human side of travel, where wonder and chaos dance together. Because that's where stories live. That's where truth hides. I'm Adesh from wakatravels.com, and this isn't just about seeing the world. It's about discovering yours. So get ready. From lost civilizations carved into cliffs to dreamlike landscapes that defy logic, we're journeying through 20 sites that define human imagination. Some famous, some forgotten, but every one of them unforgettable. Stay with me till the end, because I'll reveal not just where to go, but how to experience these places like a traveler, not a tourist. The hidden corners, the best times to go, and the one secret that'll make every step feel like a discovery. Let's begin. One, Machu Picchu, Peru. Hidden among the emerald peaks of Peru's Andes Mountains lies Machu Picchu, the lost city of the Incas. Built around the mid-15th century by Emperor Pachacuti, this citadel was a royal retreat for Inca nobility. For centuries, it slept under the shroud of jungle mist, untouched by the Spanish conquest and unknown to the world. Until 1911, when American explorer Hiram Bingham stumbled upon it and unveiled one of humanity's greatest archaeological finds. Every stone here fits so perfectly together that not even a blade of grass can slip through. Historians still marvel at how the Incas achieved such precision without iron tools or wheels. Was it a sacred astronomical site, a royal estate, or perhaps a spiritual bridge between earth and sky? The mystery keeps travelers returning, year after year. Visitors come not just for the ruins, but for the emotion. That quiet awe as the morning sun spills over the terraces, igniting the clouds in gold. Hike the Inca Trail, and you'll feel like you're walking through time itself. It's a place that humbles you, that whispers, "We were here, and we dreamed big." But as we leave the misty peaks of Peru behind, our next marvel stretches across an entire continent. A monument so vast, it can be seen from space. Two, the Great Wall of China. China stretching over 21,000 kilometers. The Great Wall of China winds like a sleeping dragon across mountains, deserts, and plains. A masterpiece of endurance that took nearly 2,000 years to complete. Construction began as early as the 7th century BCE, with separate regional walls later unified under Emperor Qin Shi Huang, around 220 BCE. Built by soldiers, peasants, and prisoners, this colossal barrier wasn't a single wall, but a network of fortifications designed to defend China's northern borders from invading tribes. When you stand atop one of its watchtowers near Beijing, the horizon folds endlessly, and you realize this isn't just stone and mortar, it's human will made visible. Imagine carrying those bricks up steep ridges without machines, only strength and faith that you were part of something eternal. Today, travelers hike along restored sections like Mutianyu and Jinshanling, where the ancient stones still echo footsteps of emperors and warriors. Sunrise paints the wall in gold. Sunset leaves it glowing in quiet pride. Visitors come seeking history, but they leave with perspective, proof that perseverance can shape mountains. As we step off the wall and let the wind fade behind us, our journey drifts southwest, toward a rose-red city carved entirely from stone, hidden for centuries by desert sands. Three, Petra, Jordan. Deep within Jordan's rugged canyons lies Petra, the Rose City. Once the capital of the Nabatean kingdom around the 6th century BCE, Petra thrived as a trading hub linking Arabia, Egypt, and the Mediterranean. Its people mastered desert life, channeling scarce water through ingenious aqueducts and reservoirs. For hundreds of years, the city prospered, until earthquakes and shifting trade routes left it abandoned and forgotten. In 1812, Swiss explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt rediscovered Petra, revealing to the world its haunting beauty. Walk through the Sick, a narrow, twisting gorge flanked by towering cliffs, and suddenly the treasury appears ahead, glowing pink in the sunlight. It feels almost alive, like the mountain itself decided to sculpt a masterpiece. Visitors wander through temples, tombs, and amphitheaters hewn directly into sandstone cliffs. The play of light here changes every minute. Sunrise blush, midday fire, dusk ember. Petra isn't just an archaeological site. It's a hymn carved in rock. Travelers come to feel small again, to stand where ancient traders once whispered deals under the desert stars. And as the desert cools, our next destination rises from another kind of passion. A monument born not of commerce or conquest, but of love. Four, Taj Mahal, India. In Agra, India, beside the slow-moving Yamuna River, stands the Taj Mahal, a marble poem written for love. Built between 1632 and 1648 by Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his queen Mumtaz Mahal. This masterpiece fuses Persian, Islamic, and Indian design into a single breath-stopping vision. Over 20,000 artisans toiled under moonlight, inlaying the white marble with semi-precious stones that shimmer like stars. Legends say the emperor planned a matching black Taj across the river, but fate intervened. He was imprisoned before it could rise. Yet the existing mausoleum remains perfect in its symmetry, a reminder that love can outlast empires. Visitors arrive at dawn when the first light bathes the dome in blush pink, or linger till dusk as it melts into silver beneath the moon. Stand there long enough and you'll feel it. An ache, a peace, a sense that devotion can indeed build eternity. Couples travel here to renew vows. Photographers chase that flawless reflection in the pool, and poets still find words fail them. From the heart of India, we now fly westward, to a place where roaring crowds once cheered as gladiators fought for glory and life itself. Five, the Colosseum, Italy. In the center of Rome, the Colosseum still looms like a titan of history. Completed in 80 AD under Emperor Titus, it was built atop Nero's former palace grounds, a gift to the Roman people, symbolizing both power and redemption. The amphitheater could host over 50,000 spectators who gathered to watch gladiators, exotic beasts, and grand spectacles celebrating conquest and empire. Archaeologists have uncovered elevators and trapdoors beneath the arena, proof of astonishing Roman engineering. Yet the Colosseum's grandeur carried a darker side, a stage where life and death played out for entertainment. Today, the arena stands partly ruined, but its aura remains undiminished. Walking its corridors, you can almost hear the echoing cheers and the distant clash of steel. Visit at twilight, when the setting sun slips through the arches and the stones glow amber. It feels like time standing still. For travelers, the Colosseum isn't just a ruin. It's a reflection on civilization itself, on glory, cruelty, and endurance. And as the last rays fade behind the Roman skyline, our next chapter takes us far across the seas to a land where myth and stone intertwine, the cradle of Western civilization itself. Number 6. The Acropolis of Athens, Greece. High above the modern city of Athens stands the Acropolis, a crown of marble where gods once walked and democracy was born. Built during the 5th century BCE under the leadership of Pericles, this sacred hill was home to temples that defined classical architecture. The Parthenon, dedicated to Athena, shimmers white in daylight and turns golden at sunset, a monument not only to the goddess of wisdom, but to human intellect itself. For centuries, the Acropolis has been scarred by wars, earthquakes, and even explosions. Yet it endures, a testament to Greece's spirit. The carvings and columns you see today were once painted in vivid colors, their perfection meant to mirror divine harmony. Archaeologists have been restoring it piece by piece, preserving a symbol that shaped Western civilization. Visitors climb the marble steps just as ancient Athenians did, passing the Theater of Dionysus, where the first plays of tragedy and comedy were performed. When you stand at the top and gaze over Athens, it's easy to imagine Socrates or Plato debating below. You realize you're standing at the birthplace of thought itself. But beyond Greece's golden light, another world awaits, a land of sand, mystery, and monumental scale, where the oldest wonders on Earth still guard the horizon. Number 7. The Pyramids of Giza, Egypt. On the outskirts of Cairo, 3 giants rise from the desert, the Pyramids of Giza, built more than 4,500 years ago as eternal homes for Egypt's pharaohs. The Great Pyramid of Khufu, the oldest and largest, was once sheathed in polished limestone that gleamed like a second sun. For centuries, it stood as the tallest man-made structure on Earth. Archaeologists still debate the methods of its construction. How did ancient Egyptians move stones weighing tons with no modern machinery? Some theories speak of ramps and ropes, others of lost ingenuity. Whatever the truth, the result is a triumph of human ambition, aligned with cosmic precision. The pyramids align almost perfectly with celestial stars. Visitors can venture inside narrow passageways to the king's chamber, or simply stand outside at dusk, watching the silhouettes against an orange sky. Nearby, the Sphinx gazes eternally east, its enigmatic smile daring you to guess its secrets. Come here, and you'll feel the weight of eternity pressing gently on your shoulders. The desert hums with silence and time feels infinite. From the sands of Egypt, we now travel to the jungles of Cambodia, to a temple city reclaimed by nature's wild embrace. Number 8. Angkor Wat, Cambodia. Deep within the Cambodian jungle lies Angkor Wat, the world's largest religious monument and a masterpiece of Khmer genius. Constructed in the early 12th century by King Suryavarman II, it was originally dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu, later transformed into a Buddhist sanctuary. For centuries, the sprawling complex lay forgotten beneath creeping vines, until French explorers brought it back to global attention in the 19th century. Angkor Wat isn't just a temple, It's a cosmos carved in stone. Its towers mirror the peaks of Mount Meru, the mythical home of the gods. Intricate bas-reliefs tell stories from the Ramayana and Mahabharata, stretching across walls that seem endless. At dawn, when the sun rises behind the temple's silhouette, the reflection in the moat feels almost otherworldly, as if heaven itself has descended to earth. Visitors roam among crumbling gateways where tree roots twist through ancient bricks, nature and civilization locked in eternal dance. It's a place of meditation, mystery, and awe. Proof that devotion can leave fingerprints lasting 1,000 years. But as we leave Cambodia's temples, we head to a land where stones whisper to the skies, one of the world's most puzzling, prehistoric creations. Number 9. Stonehenge, United Kingdom. In the rolling plains of Salisbury, England, giant stones stand in silent formation. Stonehenge, a prehistoric riddle that has defied explanation for over 5,000 years. Archaeologists believe it was built in several stages between 3000 and 1500 BCE, but its purpose remains uncertain. An astronomical observatory, a burial site, or a place of ritual power. The largest stones, or sarsens, weigh up to 25 tons and were hauled from miles away. The smaller bluestones were transported from Wales, an extraordinary feat for a Neolithic people with no wheels or iron. Even today, no one fully understands how or why. Visitors often describe a strange stillness there. During the summer solstice, thousands gather as the first rays of dawn align perfectly with the heelstone, illuminating the circle in golden fire. Whether you believe it's cosmic coincidence or ancient genius, one thing's clear: Stonehenge connects us to something primal, a dialogue between earth, sky, and humankind. From England's misty fields, we now dive deep below the ocean's surface, to a living world so vibrant, it reminds us that nature itself builds wonders beyond imagination. Number 10. The Great Barrier Reef, Australia. Off the coast of Queensland, Australia, stretches the Great Barrier Reef, the planet's largest living structure, visible even from space. Spanning over 2,300 kilometers, this underwater kingdom is home to thousands of coral species, sea turtles, and shimmering schools of fish that seem to dance in liquid light. For over 20,000 years, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples have lived alongside this marine wonder, weaving it into their culture and legends. European explorers first documented the reef in the 18th century, but its true scale wasn't fully understood until modern aerial and satellite mapping. Snorkelers drift above coral gardens, divers descend into cathedral-like caves, and marine scientists warn of its fragility. Coral bleaching and climate change threaten its beauty. Visiting the reef isn't just a trip, it's a lesson in stewardship. Every bubble you exhale reminds you how fragile paradise can be. As we rise from the turquoise depths, our next journey takes us to a city built on water, a place where art, architecture, and romance float together beneath Venetian skies. (11) Venice and its lagoon, Italy. Welcome to Venice, the floating city where dreams glide on water. Founded in the 5th century by refugees fleeing barbarian invasions, Venice grew from marshy islands into one of the most powerful maritime republics in history. Built on wooden piles driven deep into the lagoon, its architecture seems to defy gravity and time alike. By the 14th century, Venice had become a center of art, trade, and wealth, the birthplace of explorers like Marco Polo and the home of painters like Titian. But what truly enchants travelers is its soul. Gondoliers singing beneath the Bridge of Sighs, lights shimmering off the Grand Canal, and St. Mark's Basilica glimmering in Byzantine gold. Visitors come for romance, for the art, for the feeling that every turn hides a secret. Yet beneath its charm lies fragility. Raging rising sea levels now threaten its very existence. Seeing Venice is like reading the final pages of a beautiful story you never want to end. And speaking of miracles rising from the sea, our next destination is a fortress island that looks straight out of a medieval fantasy. Mont Saint-Michel, France. Off the Normandy coast of France stands Mont Saint-Michel, a vision straight from a storybook. Crowned by a Gothic abbey dedicated to the Archangel Michael, this rocky island has lured pilgrims since the 8th century. When the tide rolls in, the mount becomes a shimmering island. When it retreats, a vast bay stretches to the horizon, an endless dance between land and sea. The abbey's construction was a feat of faith and endurance, built stone by stone over 600 years. For medieval pilgrims, reaching the summit symbolized spiritual triumph. Today, it's a photographer's paradise and a historian's dream. As the sun sets and lights flicker along its steep lanes, Mont Saint-Michel glows like a celestial crown upon the water. Visitors climb the winding stairways, exploring chapels, cloisters, and viewpoints where seagulls soar over silver tides. And as the bells toll softly in the distance, you realize this isn't just a monument, it's a bridge between heaven and earth. But now, from the shores of France, our compass swings west, toward the ancient jungles of Mexico, where stone pyramids whisper secrets of the stars. Chichen Itza, Mexico. In the Yucatan Peninsula lies Chichen Itza, the ancient Mayan city that once pulsed with astronomical knowledge and ritual grandeur. Built between the 8th and 12th centuries, it became a sacred center where science and spirituality met. The towering Pyramid of El Castillo, also known as the Temple of Kukulkan, dominates the site, its four sides aligning perfectly with the equinox sun. During those special days in spring and autumn, sunlight forms a serpent-like shadow slithering down the steps, as if the feathered god himself has returned to earth. Archaeologists still marvel at the Mayas' precision, their understanding of celestial cycles and acoustics. Clap your hands at the pyramid's base, and the echo mimics the call of a sacred bird. Visitors explore ball courts, temples, and sacred cenotes, natural wells once used for offerings to the gods. Each stone here tells of a civilization advanced far beyond its time. For travelers, it's not just history, it's standing at the crossroads of science and mysticism. But as the jungle fades behind us, we head deeper into the Pacific, to an island of mystery, where stone faces keep silent watch over time. Easter Island, Rapa Nui, Chile. Far off the Chilean coast, surrounded by the endless Pacific, lies Easter Island, or Rapa Nui, as locals call it. This remote island was settled by Polynesian voyagers around 1200 CE, who brought with them culture, navigation skills, and boundless creativity. Between the 13th and 16th centuries, they carved nearly 900 moai, colossal stone figures that still stand sentinel across the landscape. Each moai represents an ancestor, a guardian, a connection between the living and the divine. The mystery of how these giants, some weighing over 80 tons, were moved across miles of rugged terrain remains unsolved. When the island was rediscovered by Europeans in 1722, it had already fallen into decline, its forests stripped and its society transformed. Today, Rapa Nui is both haunting and humbling. Standing before the moai at sunrise, you feel the ancient pride of a people who dared to create immortality from stone. Visitors come not for crowds, but for silence, for the feeling of being at the edge of the world. And from one sacred island, we travel now to another, a land of temples, tradition, and timeless grace in the heart of Japan. Historic temples of Kyoto, Japan. Kyoto, Japan's ancient capital, is a living canvas of serenity. Founded in 794 AD, it was the heart of Japanese culture for over a millennium, home to emperors, monks, and artisans. Its UNESCO-listed temples and gardens reflect a philosophy of balance between nature and spirit, simplicity and perfection. Among its 17 heritage sites, Kinkakuji, the Golden Pavilion, gleams beside a mirror-like pond. Kiyomizu-dera clings to a hillside, offering views that change with every season. And the Ryoanji Zen Garden, with its raked gravel and silent stones, invites contemplation of life's impermanence. Visitors stroll beneath crimson torii gates at Fushimi Inari Shrine, where fox spirits guard the paths of fortune. Each corner of Kyoto feels like a meditation, a soft pause in a world that moves too fast. Tea houses whisper tradition, geishas glide through lantern-lit alleys, and cherry blossoms rain gently upon temple roofs. For travelers, Kyoto isn't just a destination. It's a lesson in stillness, in gratitude, in beauty without excess. And as we leave Japan's calm behind, our next journey takes us to the wild, a place sculpted by fire, ice, and the passage of eons, the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon, USA. Few places on Earth humble you like the Grand Canyon. Stretching 277 miles across Arizona, this colossal chasm tells 2 billion years of geological history, carved by the patient hands of the Colorado River. The Hopi call it Ongtupka, the place of emergence, believing it's sacred ground where life began. When the morning light spills over its crimson cliffs, the canyon glows like a living painting, layer upon layer of red, gold, and violet. Visitors can hike the rim, brave the skywalk, or descend into the canyon's depths, where silence hums like an ancient hymn. At sunset, it's as though time itself pauses. The Grand Canyon isn't just a view, it's a pilgrimage into the soul of Earth. Now, if you thought that was vast, imagine a place where fire, geysers, and wildlife collide in a living, breathing cauldron of creation. Yellowstone National Park, USA. Welcome to Yellowstone, the world's first national park and one of nature's greatest experiments. Established in 1872, it spans Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho, resting atop a supervolcano that still rumbles beneath the surface. Here, boiling geysers like Old Faithful erupt with clockwork precision. Rainbow-colored hot springs swirl like portals to another world, and herds of bison roam freely across meadows dusted with morning mist. But Yellowstone's magic isn't just in its landscapes, it's in its wild heartbeat. Wolves howl under starlit skies, bears fish in roaring rivers, and geothermal vents hiss like the planet exhaling. For travelers, it's a front-row seat to the Earth's creative power, a reminder that life and destruction often share the same stage. And from the volcanic heart of America, we now cross the ocean, into Africa's golden plains, where survival and beauty dance in perfect rhythm. Serengeti National Park, Tanzania. Endless horizons, thundering hooves. The Serengeti is Africa's epic poem, written in dust, blood, and sunlight. Covering 30,000 square kilometers, it's home to one of nature's greatest shows, the Great Migration. Each year, over 2 million wildebeests, zeebles, and gazelles journey in search of greener pastures, shadowed by lions, cheetahs, and crocodiles. For the Maasai people, this land is sacred, a place where the earth still speaks in its primal tongue. Visitors on safari witness not just animals, but the eternal rhythm of life itself. At dawn, golden light stretches across acacia trees, and you realize the Serengeti isn't just a park, it's the heartbeat of the planet. Now, imagine sailing westward, across the Pacific waters, to islands born of fire yet teeming with life unknown to anywhere else on Earth. Galapagos Islands, Ecuador. Rising from the Pacific Ocean, the Galapagos Islands are nature's living laboratory. It was here that Charles Darwin, in 1835, observed finches and tortoises that would shape his theory of evolution. Each island is a world unto itself, volcanic, raw, and teeming with life found nowhere else. Blue-footed boobies dance on lava shores, giant tortoises lumber through misty highlands, and marine iguanas dive gracefully beneath turquoise waves. Visitors walk among creatures unafraid of humans, experiencing a rare harmony where nature reigns supreme. The Galapagos remind us how fragile and miraculous life can be, and how evolution continues quietly before our eyes. But now, our final stop on this leg of the journey takes us higher, to Africa's roof, where the clouds kiss snow-capped peaks. Mount Kilimanjaro National Park, Tanzania. Rising 5,895 meters above the plains, Mount Kilimanjaro is Africa's tallest mountain, a symbol of endurance and awe. Its name, from the Chaga and Swahili tongues, means mountain of greatness, and rightly so. Kilimanjaro is unique, a freestanding giant of volcanic origin, crowned with ice, yet surrounded by tropical savannas. Trekkers ascend through 5 ecological zones, from rainforest to alpine desert, before reaching Uhuru Peak, the peak of freedom. Up there, above the clouds, the world feels both infinite and intimate. For locals, it's a sacred guardian. For adventurers, it's a bucket list triumph. Visitors don't just climb Kilimanjaro, they ascend through time itself, witnessing the planet's resilience, beauty, and balance. As the African sun rises over its snowy summit, one truth becomes clear. The world is vast, fragile, and breathtakingly alive. They say travel changes more than your destination. It changes you. From the misty peaks of Machu Picchu to the timeless walls of Petra, from the Serengeti's golden plains to the frozen crown of Kilimanjaro, we've traveled across centuries of wonder. Every site whispering stories older than empires, yet still alive in the wind. Each stone, each river, each monument holds a heartbeat, proof that humanity and nature have always been in conversation. The Great Wall was built to protect. The Taj Mahal was built for love. The pyramids were built for eternity. And somewhere between them all, we realize something profound. The world isn't just a place we visit. It's a legacy we inherit, and one we must protect. When you stand before a UNESCO World Heritage Site, you're not just sightseeing, you're time traveling. You're stepping into humanity's shared diary, turning pages written in stone, sand, and sea. These places remind us that despite borders and languages, we're all part of one magnificent story, the story of Earth itself. So whether your journey takes you through ancient ruins, misty jungles, or quiet temples, remember, the adventure never truly ends, because every traveler carries a map within, a compass that points not to places, but to experiences that change who we are. If this journey inspired you, don't let it end here. Subscribe to the channel for more world adventures. Drop a comment below. Tell me which of these wonders sits highest on your bucket list. And if you believe these stories deserve to be told, hit like and share this video with fellow explorers. Until our next journey, keep your passport close, your curiosity alive, and your heart open to the world. This is your travel companion, signing off, reminding you that the greatest adventure is not just seeing the world, but feeling it.